me tell you a little bit of a story. March Madness is coming up.
Yeah, that's...
Okay.
Wait, it's already March.
Right, but March Madness, like the collegiate, the tournament, the bracket, the whole thing, it's coming up. It's very exciting.
Oh, I thought it had to do with sales.
No, and it used to... When my buddies and I first started going to Vegas, we would go at the first opening weekend of March Madness. It was so much fun.
So much fun.
It's like 100 basketball games in 2 days or whatever the number is. Just we would watch. It was like screen after screen.
How do the players do it? That sounds exhausting.
Oh my God, you have no idea.
I'm warm.
He's ready to rock and roll. But I remember one year we were watching San Diego State, and we were watching this room there was like 800 people in this room watching like all four of these, 4 screens. But the other games ended, and it's like half of the room had the over bet, and the other half of the room had the under bet. And it's like whatever the number was, 105 points, 90 points, whatever it was, didn't matter. The fact that it was like we weren't even close. We all had the over. We weren't even close, and then after regulation, it was tied. We were like, all right, overtime. We needed overtime. And in the third overtime,
That's exhausting.
they hit the over on like some dumb layup with like 2 minutes left. And the place went, like the roof came off the place. And it didn't matter if you had like 1,000 on it. I had like $10 on it. Didn't even matter. It was like,
Congrats, though.
The idea that you're thinking like, just keep scoring points. Just keep scoring points. And what's fun about the over is like, it doesn't matter who's scoring. You're just like, I want points.
Yeah.
Everybody make all your shots.
Yeah.
And it was just so hilarious that it took that much time to get to what wasn't even like a massive over.
So bet the under, guys. That's what Evan's
Bet the
saying.
under.
Always bet the under.
But, and if you're at home and you're interested in doing something like that for March Madness, BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for betting on all March Madness.
Yeah, whether you're a seasoned fan or a first-time bettor, BetOnline is the ultimate game day companion.
With the largest selection of odds on everything from college basketball to a $200,000 bracket contest, BetOnline continues to be your number one sports betting source.
From every Cinderella story to every hat trick, BetOnline has you covered with odds, stats, and more for every game, every play, and every win.
We were the Cinderella story with that bet. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because we did not deserve
You spent
to
only
win.
$10.
Doesn't matter.
No, but Cinderella was...
thrill of making it a $20 bill.
Sure.
Well, 19, the house gets 10%. Doesn't matter. BetOnline, the game starts here.
Hey, everybody. Thanks so much for listening to the Dumb Dad Podcast. My name is Kevin, and I'm a dumb dad.
My name is Evan, and I'm also a dumb dad.
Great.
And on this episode, a very special episode of the podcast, Kevin reveals that he is a people pleaser, even though he's unable to essentially please all the people.
And on this episode, Evan learns that, if life gives you milk, make sour cream. Cheers.
Cheers, pal.
I am wearing my hat for
What?
Mario Day. I'm
Oh,
wearing my
no.
Super Mario hat. It's not today. It was 2 days ago.
Oh, man.
You didn't see the video I posted in stories?
I did, where you pumped the
Coin
question
block.
block. Yeah. Question block.
Well, it revealed
It's
itself
not
as a coin
guaranteed.
block.
Well, okay, but it's not guaranteed. It's coins.
It's the past now.
If you're
so
going
I
to
know
wear
what
the
it was.
hat, let's... I missed it. I didn't know it was Mario Day.
It was Mario Day. Mario
Gosh,
10.
dang. March 10th.
March 10th.
It's obvious
Mario
now.
10.
Yeah.
Mario.
One more time for the
Mario.
Mar 10.
10. March 10th. Get it, Mar 10. Get it, guys.
got
You get it.
I'll look it up later. I don't
Wearing the
understand
hat.
it. I'll look it up.
Big Nintendo fan. Kids are into it. Whatever. Let's move on.
Yeah. Well,
It's
we don't have
daylight
to.
savings time. Is this the good daylight savings or the bad one?
It sounds like you're very much affected by daylight savings with how you've started all the information you're offering us.
Here's the thing.
Go for it.
We were fine.
Yeah.
A lot of it's funny. Everybody wants to get rid of daylight savings time, but like the
Correct.
cynic in me, I want to get rid of it too.
Yeah.
But the cynic in me is like, well, then you won't have something to talk about twice a year. Because
Oh, you-
good Lord.
The daylight savings happened. It was Sunday into Monday. Sorry,
Saturday
Saturday
into
into
Sunday.
Sunday. I apologize.
Wow.
See how it's on me.
You know what?
I'm so thrown off, Kevin.
It's wonderful that you said that, because let's back up and say a little dumb dad moment real quick, which was we were going to meet up Sunday morning to do some work.
You and I,
So
yes.
I texted you Saturday night. Saturday night, guys, that's the night when parents go wild. You go out, you don't go out. You're kids. You
Literally,
can't go
we
anywhere.
were going wild because we had a gala.
Yeah, but I
a
texted.
fundraising gala
Great. So that didn't even register with
for
you.
the school.
For the school. You were at a school function on Saturday night.
Yeah.
And I texted you, get together tomorrow? And you're like, yeah, what time? And I was like, I don't know, like 8:30. And you went, great, I'll head to you right after. And I knew right away
That I meant after drop off.
that you meant have to drop off.
Yeah.
And instead of being like, silly, it's Sunday. I was
Well,
like,
no, what's the fun of
after
that?
school? And you went, yeah. And I was like, yes, he still doesn't know. And there was a part of me that just wanted to let it go and see if you'd scream your kids awake in the morning.
Or, you know what probably would have happened? Is that I would have thought we're recording on Monday, and I never would have shown up here.
Oh, like to film. Oh, okay. But yeah, I texted
That's
you.
probably how I would have.
I was just a real smart aleck about it. You know what I mean?
I don't expect anything less, Kevin.
I said, okay, well, I didn't know your kids went to Sunday school. Boom. I'm
Gotcha.
ready.
Boom.
Get the
Roasted.
cameras
How
rolling.
you feel? Dumb?
But-
Send me a picture of your dumb face right now. How you feel?
Anyway, daylight savings happened Saturday into Sunday. Did you have a story or?
Yeah.
Okay.
And because of the gala, we stayed out late. Our kids were at our friend's house.
Okay.
Who their kids also go to school, and their babysitter watched like all 5 kids, which was great. So we could go to the fundraising gala for the school.
Yeah.
Have fun, and then so by the time we got back to their house, it was probably like 10:30.
Yeah.
So it was late for elementary school kids.
Yeah, it's pretty late.
But it was Saturday into Sunday. So we thought, it's once in a while. Okay, I'm not going to go on a huge tangent here, but sometimes I was talking to my wife on the way home. I was like, sometimes like this kind of stuff should happen to kids, so they know how to deal with it when it happens.
You were talking
Like
about
if-
this last night?
No, Saturday into Sunday.
Okay.
But if you get your kids into bed like 8:15 every single night, and there's like no exceptions, then if an accident happens and they're up until 9:15, like all hell breaks loose. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's like-
accident's a weird word, but sure.
Yeah, heard, chef. Yes, accident was a very weird word to choose there. But if your kids like once in a while stay up like way later than they've ever done
Yeah.
before, then it's like, okay, now we know what that feels like, kind of thing. So we weren't like too stressed about it.
Yeah.
All that to say, into Sunday, daylight savings happened. Never thought about it. Kids never thought about it. They slept in a little bit, even though they woke up earlier than they would have because of daylight savings. All these things. Fast forward to the end of that evening, my wife, I think, was at like a event, book fair thing, whatever. So I was making dinner for everybody, and we were sitting around the table. And my daughter, who was 6 years old, was like, "When does daylight savings happen?" And I was like, "Oh, it already happened last night." And she was like, "Well, what does that mean?" And I was like, "It means that we basically lost an hour." So, it feels like it's whatever time, but it's earlier. So it's like you just out of nowhere lose an hour. And she's like, "Is this the first time that's happened?" And I was like, no. It happens twice a year, every 6 months. And she was like, "In 6 months, it's going to happen again?" And I was like, "Yeah, but it already happened. It happened last night. It's not going to happen tonight. It has already happened. Like we've already
Does she
experienced
know we get
it."
one in 6 months?
Well, it didn't matter because fast forward like 2 or 3 minutes into that conversation, and she's in complete emotional meltdown because in 6 months, she doesn't want it to happen again.
Okay. Okay.
And it's like,
I'll make some calls. That's why you call your senators.
yeah, it's like, I don't know what's happening here. And I'm just trying to like calmly go, "Honey, it's, can I tell you something else? You're 6 years old. It's happened 17 times in your life. Like, I don't know what to tell you. It's happened so
you're
many
just
times.
Throwing as much as you
It's
can at her to upset her
That's
more.
too many. 11 times. Math is difficult. But it was like, no matter what I said, she was just affected by it in that evening because of loss of sleep and tired, and kids don't know how to manage. It's basically like, landlocked jet lag is what you're going through,
Yeah.
but they don't know why or how. And it didn't matter the conversation I was having with her. She would have had like a melt, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
but it was funny that it was the fact that it was like, it already happened. And by the time it happens again, you won't even remember that it happened. This has happened your whole life. What are we doing here? And then later I was like putting her to bed, and I'm like, oh, that's what that was. it didn't matter what it was.
Yeah.
The conversation was about. She was behind an hour, and she's 6 and doesn't get it. It's like it could have been like nuggets. I wanted a cheeseburger. It didn't matter. Like it was just so funny that she's having this like emotional meltdown at dinner. I'm like, how did this go from like a conversation to like you're struggling?
Did you tell her about leap year?
No. That's good.
Every 4
You
years.
sitting on that one?
Every year we
It's pretty
gain a
good.
day.
Yeah.
What?
But really, can we just like lean on what would you lean on? This where we are now, right? Later light. If you're gonna land on one and not touch it anymore.
Yeah. I would land on later light because I think the argument for more light in the morning is lame. Being like, I drop them. Well, like think about it. Going to work and it's dark, or dropping your kids off at school and it's dark. Who cares?
Who cares? Because
Whereas like
you're waiting around for light to hit finally. God, it's so annoying. But like, not as much as you're holding on to the light in the wonderful evenings when it's like just a little bit light out to go, whether you're at the park or the beach or like at a, what I'm saying? Like we just appreciate the light a little bit later in the day.
Yeah, this is the better one. Let's stop here.
Can this just be the last
Evan's
one?
daughter, we're done.
I'm sure the president will take care of it.
Yeah. He's batting. He's at bat.
He's at, I don't know if he knows he's hitting.
He doesn't know what game he's playing. Daylight savings has been a tough week because getting up in the morning was tough every morning. And it was funny because the kids went to bed at an okay time. And Sunday they slept in. Great. Good work. And then, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, as of this recording, has been a struggle for my my youngest. Just being like, buddy, you got it.
You think that's still from that? Into like Wednesday?
Yeah, because I didn't do the 15 minutes before every
Oh my
night.
God, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
That was a big thing. For those who don't know, there's like if you want to get your kids ready for daylight savings, I'm just joking. I'm not knocking anybody who does it. I just don't.
How can you think of it?
About anything.
Explain what it is first, and then we'll give our opinion.
It's 50. You put them like, say if they're gonna lose an hour, you're gonna put them to bed 15 minutes earlier every day for
4 days or
4 days, 5 days.
Yeah,
maybe the whole week. I don't remember. I never did it.
To like transition them into. We tried it once,
and then when they lose the hour, now they're back to the regular amount of time. Then you put them in bed at a regular time, and it's fine.
I think in theory, brilliant.
I'm still
brilliant in theory.
I'm still like, we have to walk out the door at 7:50 for school, and my wife and I are like loading the phone, being like, "What's for lunch?" So like, I don't know that I'm gonna be planning 15 minutes.
That's my point. Brilliant in theory.
In theory,
but like, if the most organized person cannot get their kids out of the door at 9 a.m., if you start prepping at 7:30, and all you have to do is get dressed and eat breakfast,
and bedtime
because your kids will determine when you leave.
My kids also do not determine when they fall asleep. I'm not like 15 minutes early, and they were like, "We understand."
Of course they don't. Like they're just as much as they're learning new things every day and processing new things every day. They're physically doing the same thing, and they're not aware of it. So like, in theory, wonderful idea. Oh, what a great idea!
No shade to anybody who's doing it. Us bullies, we make fun of you because we wish we did it. That's all.
Also, like, first of all, you have to like think of that and remember to do it every day, whether or not you can get the kids to fall into that schedule. That's
a great
whole
point.
different
What
thing.
if you miss one day? How does that work? Start over?
Bro, you might as well even just like.
Might as well go to bed.
Might as well just go to bed.
Might as well go to bed now. All right. Should we move on to the dumb dad moments?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. I'll start off.
Sure.
My dumb dad moment is brought to you by being a people pleaser. I'm a people pleaser.
I know you are.
Thank you.
You're a good people pleaser.
Thank you. That's what I was looking for.
All right. My.
Yeah, you go ahead. I didn't want to. Stupid anyway. Stupid that I wanted to do it. Wasn't even a good
story.
story.
The affirmation.
If you want to go, that's totally fine. If you feel better
there it is.
starting, I think that's probably better anyway.
You sure?
Yeah.
Because I could always. Okay.
Mm-hmm. I didn't even. What story? Who would want to hear it? Unless
If
you
we
want to
have
hear
time.
it. If you want to hear it.
If we have time.
I'll do it if you want to hear it. But if you don't want to hear it, I didn't even. Do I even remember what it is? It doesn't matter. Yeah. Sorry.
People pleaser to a fault. I think we both feel like this at times, that we are kind of both like that in some ways. And I'm like, I don't have to say yes to everything.
Yeah, I mean, running the book fair, PTA president, also on the school side council.
Okay, we get it.
No, those aren't the people pleaser. Those are me just doing what I can for my children in their school. Because I'm a GD legend.
Wow, that's like like people pleaser to shade to egotistical, back to people pleaser. Let's go.
I'm the whole deck of cards.
Yeah, that's right.
Is that a phrase? The whole deck of cards?
It is now. I'm the whole deck.
I'm the whole deck. Even the instructions.
And the jokers.
I lost the instructions. I don't remember how to play. So I'm on, as aforementioned, the school side council.
Yep.
At my kid's school. It's once a month.
And for those that don't know, just say what that is in 10 seconds.
It's just a meeting once a month to kind of go over. It's amalgamation of the teachers and the parents, but it's not PTA. It's really to go over like budgetary stuff, to get approval on doing stuff, especially events that say the PTA would want to do during school hours, for instance. You need to like get approval from school side council and all that stuff from the teachers that you can do. But it's also going over the budget so you can find out what the money in your school is getting spent on.
It's so much fun, and I can't imagine why. I mean, I'm sure they're probably had to turn people away from volunteering for something like that.
I'll tell you this. I have never been able to drive after one of those meetings. Gets wild.
I've had to leave my car on school property so many times.
Usually on Zoom. And I'm the secretary on it, and it was one of those things, same as always, nobody's volunteering. Gavin? I was like...
Yeah. Oh, I have to go to the bathroom. What?
But it's just like, I don't know. This is where it's like, I'm not going to play into the trope of the dumb dad.
Sure.
But I'm like, what makes you think I can take
you could also
legible
use that
notes?
You could just hold our Instagram account up and be like, I don't have time for this, something like this.
Read these captions. They don't even make sense. You think I can take diligent notes? Okay. That's going to go sour.
This is me writing down what I said that I wrote.
Yeah.
And it's mostly right.
Most or not. I don't know. It was a month ago. Who knows? Again,
who knows?
What was for lunch? What was for lunch today? I don't know.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you.
We sent them with an apple because it won't spoil and it's something to eat. But I was asked to do it by one of the school administrators there. She's super cool, and she was definitely like, "Listen, we need one. We need a secretary.
Yeah.
So just do it." And she even volunteered, which was nice of her, but I didn't take her up on it. She volunteered to be like, I can just take the notes. And I was like, no, I'll do it. Like, I'll do the job. It's fine.
Yeah.
Again, it's just a job that's just in that meeting once a month. And it's just secretary takes notes, writes down everything. Something gets, somebody makes a motion, type their name.
Yeah.
Who seconded it, type their name. But then also kind of, we get an agenda. So then this is what's dumb about all meetings. PTAs do this too. And I'm sure a bunch of other associations do this, where they start the meeting and they go, can we read the minutes from the last meeting? And it's just you reading the agenda from the last meeting-ish, but with a little more detail. So anyway, every meeting that we've had has been super easy and chill, and I'm just typing out kind of the agenda, putting a couple pointers in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting the idea of it.
Cliff notes.
So this time, that's at best. This time,
Clark's notes.
This time the administrator couldn't be there, and it was the principal, and she's like, "I'll lead the meeting," and I was like, "Great." The principal is way more
dialed in than you are.
Dialed in. Well, yeah, and everybody there is more dialed in than
Obviously.
I am.
Yeah.
But I more like business, and like it was just funny because we started the meeting and she was just like, "All right, let's read the minutes from the last meeting." And then there was just a pause, and it was just like,
and you're wondering why everyone's looking at you.
I've never had to read the minutes before because the administrator had always read the minutes.
Yeah, it wasn't there.
It wasn't there, and I just didn't know it fell on me. But it makes sense because you're the secretary.
Sure does.
So it's just pause, and they're like, "Does anybody have the minutes?" She was nice. This is
principal. When you walk in the front door somewhere and they're like, "Hi, welcome to something and associates. Can I help you or direct your call about that?" That's the secretary.
Yeah.
That's you.
But what was funny is the principal did give me an out and know that I was a dumb dad in a dumb dad moment, because she just goes, "Does anybody want to read the minutes?" As if we all have them.
Yeah.
There's one guy who has it.
I got it. Oh, maybe it might be in my.
There's one guy who has it,
notebook.
And he looks perpetually ill all the time. Like,
it's like you can't let how many of them know what you do? I mean, like, how many of them know that, like...
They make yucks on the internet?
Well, yeah, you're a comedian. It's like...
I don't know.
Because you don't need to do that. You're a people
Be a
pleaser.
comedian?
Yeah, watch me, look at my stuff, blah, blah. No, you're there to do your job there. So they don't know that. But it's like, they also don't know that they're asking the comedian to do that.
Here's the thing.
Which is not the person to ask.
I get nervous doing our jokes. Mostly because I don't know if they're going to work. But...
Yeah, that's a comedian.
But also, I get really warm when I need to speak and there's no jokes involved.
And you're not supposed, you can't rely on it. You can't like lean back on a joke. And
so I had to read the minutes. And now I'm like, I have to speak. But I also get that like wash of fear going, oh no, I have to read whatever that I don't, again, I don't know what I wrote a month ago.
Lady in the red top said,
because
lunch
also,
is ending too early.
The administrator also just said, just like whatever you got, just send it to me. And if I need to like change anything, I will. But like, honestly, whatever you wrote is probably fine. So I've been doing that every month.
Yeah.
Not like, let me clean it up for you. Again, it's not messy. I'm putting in pointers. I know it's.
But you took whatever you wrote is fine. So
it's typed out. It's not written. It's not handwritten. Because God, if I handwritten it, game over.
Is there a student doing this?
I would just slowly lower my laptop. Can I read the minutes? Come on. So I'm reading, and I am a little nervous, and I'm messing up one word. I keep saying it. I wrote it down many times.
Yeah.
Can you guess what that word is?
Oh, you're saying one word.
So I'm repeating one word, throughout me reading the minutes.
Yeah, penguins.
Penguins is a good guess, but wrong. No, something more just on the nose.
What would you say a lot in a PTA meeting? I don't know.
It's SSC, but thanks for listening. I'm glad you're here. Should this have just been an Instagram story by myself?
This needs to be a full reel, if you want my opinion.
And I'm going to say it slowly so I don't mess it up.
Sure.
Literacy.
How do you just say it how you say it?
Literacy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't doing it there. I wasn't doing it there.
What were you saying?
I don't know. I was just tripping on it.
Literarious.
I was like, every time I was just like, we went over the like, what is it? Yes, I'm going to make up acronyms, but it's like we went over the SBAs and how they can help kindergarten through 5th grade, and also there's going to be some enrichment programs going on from there. There's also the literacy program, and then I kept going, and then I was talking some more, and then I was like, literacy with 1, 3rd, and 5th, and then the third time I did it, I went literacy. Why is that the word I keep messing up? I just said that out loud.
Yeah, there's the joke.
Yeah, you got to do it.
That comes out naturally.
Which I did get a laugh. Then I was like, all right, guys. I'll be right back. I'm going to do 80s Dad.
Pull out your phones. Look up the dumb dads. God, that is so funny. And here's the thing. What I'm hearing is like, it's the people pleaser taking over that it's like, oh, I'm messing up this word and I don't want to mess up this. Why is this the one word? And so you're kind of like going down in a spiral of that. But the comedian brain in you is like, this is hilarious.
Oh, it's great. The second time it happened, it was like, the first time it happened, I'm reading and my brain is going,
yeah. Oh, you
funny.
clock it immediately.
The second time it happens, you go, uh-oh. Because once it happens twice, I will never be able to read that word again.
I'm the whole deck, but I'm also showing all of my cards right now.
Yeah. But now
they're hanging out in front of me.
Listen, everybody heard it the first time. Everybody definitely heard it the second time, which means I will never say this word correctly again for the rest of the day.
It's like when we go on, what do we call it? It's like when we like tech speak or whatever, when we go on an audition, or if we do an ad read, or if we do an ad post or something like that. It's the technical jargon that they want you to say. Like, really, AT&T is offering this deal for only $9.99 a month. And it's like, God, that is the hardest thing to say. When it's like, this is the stuff you have to say exactly this way. And it's because you have to say it exactly this way. You like immediately start overthinking.
Oh yeah, overthinking it, tripping over it. By the way, real quick, point of order, as they say in SNC. Verizon, we are not currently doing a deal with AT&T. Evan just used that as an example. Also, AT&T, that could be us for real.
Hit us up. Point of order. So the poo movement is what you're saying.
Poo? Point of order? Yeah.
Yeah. There's the jokes right there. Couldn't do that in the SEC meeting, but that's really what that should be called. The poo movement, the poo order.
No, I heard it, but I heard you say kitten do that.
Really?
I heard kitten do that.
Oh, well, I don't know.
Anyway, that was mine. And then the last part of it was that the principal talked so fast and I was typing furiously.
Why you hit record?
And
I'll do these later.
No way. They're never getting it. They're never getting it. They'll get an audio file of themselves talking.
Yeah.
Here's the minutes. I put it at 10 times X speed. Let's all just listen real quick.
Done? Great. Yeah.
Literacy. Hey, he said it. Who approves the minutes? And the motion is passed.
And the motion is passed. That's pretty good. Oh God, that's so funny. I love that. My dumb dad moment this week is brought to you by making dinner.
I'm sorry. Sorry you had to do that.
It felt like a stupid
mac and cheese
sponsor
or fish sticks.
This is an evening where my wife's in like a couple of book clubs right now, and then this might have been like a fundraising meeting or something. Needless to say, she was out for the evening, and so I was making dinner for the in-laws and the kids and everything, which is great. It's Taco Tuesday, no big deal. I was excited about it. The day before, in the order, I had her get some carne asada and some fish. I wanted to do like steak tacos and fish tacos and like make some guacamole. I was getting excited about the responsibility of like, all right, I'll handle it when you're gone. No big deal. She usually makes dinner, but we also both make dinner.
Yeah.
But I also really enjoy making dinner. And so when she's out, I was telling her today, I was like, it sucks when you're out for the night because I miss you. I really do. I know it's like when your wife is out or you're out, it's like, they're just not around. But they also deserve to be out and going having fun with their friends. And so it's kind of both. But I don't ever feel like, gosh, there's a lot of responsibility on me tonight. Or no, I don't feel like that. I just think like, all right, but I got to be more dialed in than normal because I'm doing more things than it's like there's more on your plate. I got to be responsible for
that's
making
because
dinner, but also
because you made carne asada and fish. If you had just done the one, there'd be less on your plate.
Holding for applause.
Let them catch their breath before you start.
Everybody feeling good? Okay. And anyway, all that to say, it just meant like, all right, got a lot of things I'm going to feels like a lot of balls in the air. Handling the kids, one's in the bath, the other one needs help with their homework, whatever. It's just kind of like, all right, dialed in, let's get dinner going. And here's where it starts. It's like one kid needs something, go handle the kids thing. Come back in the thing, like, okay, take it out, take the carne asada out, get ready, see how much there is. Go outside, light the coals, get it ready. I wanted to grill it. Come back inside, open the fish, pat it dry, season one side of the fish. Kid needs something, go handle the kid thing. Come back out, check the coals. Okay, the coals are good. Let's start making the guacamole. Let's start opening the avocados, getting the pit out, getting the kid needs something. Great. And it was just like one of those evenings. Everything's totally fine. It doesn't, I don't discourage it. It just means when you feels like, man, I'm dialed in right now. I got 6 plates in the air. I'm the halftime show.
Yeah.
And then when I was telling,
was it a little bit getting you? I mean,
no. I
cutting open an avocado and then being like, Dad, you're like,
Well, yeah, but that's a breath for me, not for the kid, and it's like, okay. What did you need?
Yeah.
You wanted to put your clothes out for tomorrow? Great. You just wanted to tell me that you're going to do that? Okay. You don't need to tell me that. Okay.
Yep.
That kind of thing. It really doesn't discourage me. If anything, I kind of like it almost. It's like, it's like, how can you compare yourself to your favorite athlete or something, like when they're in a pressure situation? How would I be like that? And this wasn't a massively pressure situation, but I'm just saying that's how I think of that kind of stuff sometimes. This is great. I'm like, I'm in charge of a lot right now. I kind of want to thrive in that moment.
Yeah.
And anyway, all that to say, grill's going outside. I can't remember if the carne asada was on or not, or about to go on. The fish needed to be flipped. The oil was hot, ready for the fish. Guacamole was almost done. I'm dicing the onions. The kid needs something. And I was like, oh, that's right. I need to go get the tortillas out of the fridge so that I can steam them so that we can make the tacos. So I go into the fridge. I grab the tortillas. It hits the cup of milk that's in the fridge. It falls. I decide to try to catch the milk that was in an open glass.
Yeah, you got to try to catch it.
It's instinct, But what does that mean? Milk, dude, milk went everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere. And so now...
And the glass shattered?
No, it didn't. I I tried to catch it. I didn't really catch it, but I made it so it didn't fall out of the fridge onto the ground, But I mean, the collateral damage was immense. All down my sweater, on my pants, all over the floor, in the door of the fridge that I opened, on the shelf it was on the bottom door, in the rubber seal, in the crack. I mean, it was just
that's never coming out.
It was just everywhere.
Yeah.
And it was like going from feeling like, I'm in a 2-minute drill ripping down the field to like, I threw it to you and then you fumbled it. And then you lateral, and then I fumbled it. It was just like, what a catastrophe.
How is this my fault?
I don't know what I did wrong other than try. But it was like, now everything takes a back seat to that because milk, right? It's not like I'll give that time and do the rest and come back. No, it's milk, dude. You got to of all the things you're going to spill.
But if you're having... So you're having tacos. Why don't you just leave the fridge open? By the time everything's done, sour cream.
I didn't realize that's exactly how sour cream is definitely made.
When life gives you milk, you make sour cream.
Cream.
Everybody knows that saying.
I mean, it's like I'm on my hands and knees. I'm wiping it off my clothes. I'm already thinking like, well, these are in the laundry immediately. Because it's milk, and it's like I'm wiping the rubber seal, and then I that's with a wet paper towel, and then you got to go back and like disinfect it, and it's just like, dude, of all the things I could have spilled,
why wasn't it a cup of olive oil? You know what I mean?
Here's a little side note about milk. Who's drinking milk?
Infants mostly.
Yeah, can you drink a glass of milk?
I could.
Really?
I won't, but I could.
I know you physically could do it.
Oh, okay. What else can I do? 4 push-ups? Easy. Let's go. What else do you got?
Do I have to breathe, or can I like hold my breath?
I have to breathe.
A glass of milk. I don't know. It's so funny. Like as a kid, I kind of liked it, but I fell off pretty quickly. I've never had an allergy to it or anything, but I just like at one point when I was like 10 or 12, I remember my sister would drink a glass of milk, like if we had like spaghetti and meatballs.
Yeah, I get it.
And I'd be like, what kind of beverage is that with spaghetti and meatballs? And then the older and older I got, it's like, who's drinking a glass of milk? Like a tall glass of milk?
That's what I am.
Don't forget to tip your waitresses. We'll be here next week.
I get it. I loved milk for a very, very long time. Probably longer than I should have. Stopped drinking glasses of milk. I was about 32.
Really?
No.
I was going to say, you're such a liar.
No, but I don't.
I believe.
I enjoyed it so much. I enjoyed an ice cold glass of milk that I think there's so many better beverages now.
Correct.
That it seems insane to me.
I can't think of a regular beverage that people drink that I would want to drink less with like dinner for a week than a glass of milk.
With dinner?
With dinner.
Chamomile tea.
I'd rather have that.
That sounds.
No, I'm not even capping, fam. I'd rather have chamomile tea than a glass of milk. 100%.
Anything that you want less
than something, obviously you'd be like
grapefruit juice, probably.
Yeah, but who drinks a glass of grapefruit juice?
Well, you're yelling at the milk people. Why can't the grapefruit juice get it too?
I'd rather have grapefruit
Give
juice.
it to them.
I'd rather have grapefruit juice.
No, I get it. I like milk. I like it. I appreciate what it is and what it's done.
No shade on milk. I have a little bit of milk every day when I make my little latte in the morning. That's when I have it.
You know what?
I have dairy. It's not. But I'm not like just a regular glass of milk.
Here's the only problem I have with the milk. Again, I won't. I would rather have water now than milk.
Yeah.
With dinner.
Yes.
But my point is, like my father-in-law sometimes has milk with dinner, and I'm like, I get it, especially if it's cold. That's nice. I get it. But I only have one criticism. Got Milk campaign was a big one. Still is there. It was really big when we were like younger. And then they would just show like celebrities and athletes with a milk mustache. But then I saw one with Spider-Man, and he had a milk mustache on the mask. And I was like, is he insane? He's just sifting that through his cloth mask. I mean, that thing's got to be dirty. He's swinging through the city. The amount of smog that thing is catching.
Give that an hour and a half in New York City air, and you're just smelling rotten milk through the city.
Yeah. Yeah, also the mask is going to smell.
Yeah.
Are we talking about summer? It's humid in New York.
God.
So you're drinking irresponsibly enough that it's giving you a mustache and through your mask? You're insane. You're insane. Revoke his superhero license.
Can you imagine Spider-Man drinking it through a mask?
Through a mask. I think that's where we leave it.
Oh, man. Spiders don't drink milk.
With great power comes great responsibility. Take off your mask. It's not an ad. It bothered me. I think Hulk was drinking it too, and I was like, how much did they pay you for that, buddy? You don't need it. Like, I know it's like strong bones. And it's like the Hulk
glass of milk
doesn't need strong bones.
No.
He's a Hulk.
Let's not do that.
Unless you put some green food coloring in, then it's kind of fun.
Oh, yeah.
And then he's like, what am I, a joke to you? And then you got other problems. Let's read a dumb dad moment from somebody.
Let's go.
Before we make it worse. So this one is from Martin. Martin, thanks for writing in. Guys,
thank you, Martin.
If you want to write in, dumbdadpod@gmail.com, or we're at the Dumb Dads on Instagram, or you can go to the link in our bio to find the address where you can handwrite a letter.
Handwrite a letter. It's the most appreciative way.
We've had 2 legends so far. All right.
2 legends. That's right.
Let's go. It says, hey, dummies. This all happened a bit over a year ago when my kids were 4 and 6. This is a long one, so buckle up. We'll get through it. Here we go.
I'm ready to go.
Part 1. Oh, this is like Dune.
Stay tuned for the next podcast where we reveal.
Or Wicked, which was a great movie, but I was very apprehensive when it said Part 1 at the beginning. I didn't know that.
I didn't know what it said at the beginning.
Yeah. It said Wicked, Part 1, and I went, oh, what's going on here? But I really enjoyed the film, so it's fine. Part 1, The Original Sin. I titled it. I like it. Like most truly dumb dad moments, this particular tale was born out of procrastination. We are a Christmas card family, and by now I should know that this holiday rolls around every year at precisely the same time, give or take, of course. Yet for some reason, the
daylight
task...
savings.
Daylight savings.
So yeah.
Leap year, lose a day. You lost a day in leap year? What are you doing?
I'm not in charge of it.
That's how I look at leap year.
Yeah.
Every 3 years I lose a day, and then once a year I get it back. Yet for some reason, the task of booking our family photos is quite elusive. This particular year, though, nothing but sheer force of dumbness. I did not book a photographer in time.
Whoopsies.
But I had a plan. Let's bring a camera and a tripod with us on our Thanksgiving holiday with the entire family, and we can get some really nice photos. Really nice photos. I'm doing air quotes for those just listening. With all the cousins. Great. Part 2, packing. Literacy. When I went to pack the night before leaving on our trip, I went to check the camera, and the battery was fully dead. Not to worry. Charge it up the night before, and we'll be good to go. By pure luck, I also remembered to pack a lens.
Very nice.
The tripod and the mount for the camera. I'm feeling pretty smug. We drive the 5 hours.
That's a dangerous spot to be in.
To our vacation spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see.
Feeling smug is like,
usually,
that's when you need a reality check, probably.
That's usually when it turns sideways. Yeah. The morning of the shoot arrives, and we're all running around getting our nice outfits on. I decide for the first time since arriving to power up the camera. To my horror, I met with a simple yet powerful message on the screen.
No memory card.
Correct. Part 3. Do the tech gods love me? No, they do not. It's blunt in its delivery of the message, with no regard for me as a dad trying to achieve something for his family. Scrambling for a bit, I realize I've actually stashed my SD cards in a travel kit I made with all my chargers and cords.
Okay.
All right.
Extra cords. Okay, appreciate that. Memory cards, got it.
I open the kit and spot the cards perfectly packed in their sleeves. The relief is instant but short-lived. I slip the card into the slot with the naivete of a newborn chick opening its eyes for the first time. Flip on the power switch, and there on the screen is another gem from the cold-hearted copywriter of this particular UI. Memory card write protected.
There it is.
I'm dead waiting for Sharon to guide me across the river Styx. Is it Sharon? Karen? Sharon? Who's the one who guides you across the river Styx?
Couldn't tell you.
No, it's a Greek thing.
Oh, couldn't tell you.
Pennies on your eyes. So, well, not pennies, but coins on your eyes so you can pay to get across the river because capitalism still exists when you're dead. Okay.
Good Lord.
But wait. But wait, isn't there a little switch on the side that locks the card? I can just flip that little switch and it'll be all good. Back on top of the world, I put the card out only to find that little switch has broken off in my fancy travel case, forever locking this card in read-only mode. Alas, my world is once again plunged into drab melancholy reserved for dumb dads steeped in the consequences of their hasty decisions. I look down and realize there is another SD card, but this one is very small, only 2 gigabytes. This will have to do. We load everyone up and head to the location we had chosen.
You now have a digital Polaroid opportunity.
Tailwinds and blue skies.
Yeah.
Really blue skies, like blindingly bright, direct sunlight blue skies. Part 4, the arrival. We get to the location and start to unload the cars. Our crew is 2 SUVs and a truck's worth of grandparents, kids, adults, and importantly, 1 dog. As I'm getting the dog out of the back of the car, I've got his leash on one arm and the photography equipment on the other. Don't like where this is heading. God. As you can imagine, 3 cars of people being unloaded all at once gets a dog pretty excited. Yeah. Fortunately, nothing at all happened, and he was the goodest boy. Misdirect.
A classic misdirect. Love that.
Of course, that's a version of the story that doesn't make it into the pantheon of dumb dad moments. What actually happened is he jumped out of the car as quickly as possible, and while I did manage to hang on to him, I was less successful in holding onto the tripod, which was now tumbling across the parking lot. The chaos was building steadily, and it was taking whatever survival instincts we had left just to get our crew the 100 yards we needed to traverse from the parking lot to where we had planned to shoot. This is when I discovered the tripod had broken and could not be used to hold the camera. Okay, the big group photo is out. Let's get some small groups going. Did I mention we are in northern Wisconsin a few days before Thanksgiving? It's currently 25 degrees, and the children are not letting anyone forget this fact. No, they don't do that. No. We regress to people just passing iPhones back and forth, kids complaining about the cold, and struggling to keep the dog in one spot for more than a few seconds. Also, do you remember before when I said it was blue skies? Well, the photos were either full of super harsh shadows or it's too bright, I can't keep my eyes open. Yeah. Part 5, the results. In the end, we were left with essentially no usable photos. However, through some prodigious use of Photoshop, face swapping, AI, and heavy filters, I did manage to produce one passable image for the card. Should I have known better than to attempt this myself? Absolutely.
Yes.
We'll try something like this again. Almost certainly.
Definitely.
Fellow dummy Marty.
Must do it.
Well, the funny thing is, Marty, is that you weren't planning, based on the beginning of the story, to attempt this yourself. You procrastinated.
Right.
You were left
That's
in this
the
position.
error. I don't mind the chaos, actually.
I like the comedy of errors.
I love the comedy
a lot that
of
went
errors.
wrong in that story.
Yeah. I don't know if we talked about this, but when I went and saw Nick Kroll live, you guys watched our kids, and there was an artist that sang, and he screwed up. He came out and did like 3 songs, and he's normally plays. I think his name was Andrew Bird, if I'm not mistaken. And he normally plays like acoustic guitar for his songs. And he would actually played a couple songs on the violin, and he plucked and played the violin like a guitar when he was singing, because he was like, it's way too hard to sing and like tuck it under your chin, Yeah. So he like learned how to like kind of pluck the violin, which sounded so cool. Yeah. And during the bridge or whatever of the song, he would play the violin and then go back to singing. During his performance, he screwed up a couple times to where he like literally stopped and started over and whatever. And it was kind of a raw, it was at Largo, this theater in LA, which, and even you told me, which is like, that's kind of their thing. Come and try out stuff in this theater. It's totally fine. And people want to come see like, what are you working on? What do you do? You know? Anyway, all that to say, he like messed up a few times and like stopped and was like, and then would start again. Yeah. And when I noticed it, like immediately you're like, you feel for that person because you're like, well, what they're offering their talent to us. And if they screw up, you feel a little bit bad. And then Nick Kroll came out and was like, he does this thing where he interviews people, and he was like, how did you feel when you screwed up a couple times in the first song and like you really messed that up and had to start over? And his answer I thought was so cool. He was like, when you first start out and you perform for people, that's like your worst nightmare. Yeah. That's why you rehearse and rehearse and rehearse. Like you don't want to mess anything up. But he was like, but the more you do it, the more you realize like little moments like that happen. And he goes, I actually kind of like appreciate them. Like, I'm sure he doesn't think like, gosh, I hope I screw up the thing I practice all the time. But he was like, but when that happens, I kind of, you know, it makes it like an individual special moment.
Right.
So to me, it's like, man, whatever picture you get, everyone's probably going to kind of remember like, yeah, we all went there and it was a mess and the tripod broke and blah, blah. But this was the picture we took.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it kind of like through AI and everything, a passable picture is fine. It's totally fine.
Yeah.
But there's something to be said about like the experience of that, which is I appreciate that story because no, you don't wish negative things or things to break or kids to complain or whatever. But like, that's what made that year, I guess. You know what I mean? So that's what I love about that story is that it was like, yeah, it's kind of a mess, but like, you're all fine. Took a few pictures, you know.
I think what you're trying to say is you'll always remember taking that photo.
There it is. Yeah.
And that's where we'll leave it, Marty. Just
what a
like
great
you
secretary. You just
left
were able to
me.
like concisely take the note. What time did I say that? Do you know that?
I think it was like 8 a.m. this morning. It's 9 p.m.
That's good. That's good.
I think that's a great place to leave it. Marty,
Yeah.
thanks for the story. Enjoy the photo. You also want to see the blown out one, you know? I think have those side by side too.
Yeah.
It's pretty fun.
Well, there's the back of the card.
There's the back of the card. Or it might be expensive. Have like the Photoshop one on there and then have that be scratch off material and then use a coin and you can see the real photo.
What a great idea. The picture we wanted, the picture we took
got.
when you scratch it off. That's
Good
a
job.
brilliant idea.
Guys, thanks for hanging out with us. Thanks for listening to the Dumb Down Podcast. Please rate and review this podcast. We'd love to read a review soon. So write in a review. Let us know what you think. Give us 5 stars. If you think it's less than 5 stars,
Just type something.
just email me and then we can talk about it. Can we at least just talk about it, please? Can we please just talk about it? You don't have to fly off the handle.
The people pleaser in you is kind of disappearing at the moment.
Well, I'm not really talking to anyone in particular. If somebody came and they said 2 stars, I'd be like, that's fair.
That's fair. We do our best. I'm sorry. Is there anything we could do better?
Honestly, thank you for 2. And speaking of which, thanks to Verdú on SoundCloud for the music to this podcast and to our producer, my incredible wife, Annie, for editing this podcast.
We're going to read a joke from a book. Dad Jokes 2, TOO. See what we did there? Punnier than ever. Why did the blind lady fall into the well?
She's blind because she couldn't see where she was going.
Couldn't see that well. It's not bad. It's straight to the point. It's not that
Why isn't you
clever.
a walking cane? Our well's usually on a hill. What's going on?
Need to get
We're just
into,
losing track of her?
healthcare thing here, but I'm just saying, like, not everybody has access.
I don't know. This is why we need
couldn't
universal
see the well,
health care.
Kevin.
This is why we need universal health care.
She couldn't see it.
Next guest, Bernie Sanders. Stay tuned. Thanks for listening, everyone. Bye. Welcome to the world, little one. Welcome to life.
How do I stop this?
The Dumb Dad Podcast is proudly presented by Bet Online.